You think you're so smart, don't you? Karen screamed in my face, jabbing her finger at my chest. You did this on purpose. You destroyed my car. I just sipped my coffee and smiled. But let me back up and tell you how we got here. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe for your top-notch HOA drama. Every Monday morning, without fail, I'd hear the same sound, crunch, crack, snap. It wasn't the garbage truck. It was Karen, the self-appointed queen of our HOA, the tyrant in yoga pants, backing her shiny SUV down the driveway with all the grace of a rhino on roller skates. The first time it happened, I thought it was an accident. She reversed right into my trash can, thud. Plastic buckled, trash spilled everywhere, and through her rearview mirror, I saw that smirk. Same Monday, same time, same bin, same smug expression. This wasn't an accident. This was deliberate. Karen had declared a personal vendetta against my trash can. While some people did yoga or jogged around the block, Karen flattened trash cans. Mine, specifically. I complained to the HOA hotline, showed them the tire marks, even dragged the mangled remains of my bin into the monthly meeting like evidence at a crime scene. Their response? A collective shrug and, "It's just a trash can. Try not to place it so close to the street." Brilliant. Maybe next week I'd try levitating it. The worst part wasn't the broken bins. It was my neighbors. They noticed. Snickers when they saw me dragging another destroyed container to the curb. Raised eyebrows when Karen strolled by like she owned the world. I'd become the neighborhood punchline. Meanwhile, the costs piled up. $60 here, $70 there. Replacement bins that lasted barely a week before Karen's SUV turned them into modern art sculptures. It wasn't about the plastic anymore. It was about principle. Karen had turned my life into her personal demolition derby, and the HOA was useless. They'd never stand up to her. But even patience has a breaking point. By the 6th week, humiliation had turned into calculation. I'd stopped seeing Karen's Monday routine as harassment and started seeing it as a pattern, predictable, precise, almost ritualistic. If no one else would help me, I'd help myself. I couldn't just buy another bin. That would only feed the cycle. I needed something that would make her regret ever treating my property like a speed bump. Saturday morning, the shopping trip. I started with research. Heavy-duty bins, reinforced plastic, decent, but still just plastic. I needed more. I ended up at a contractor supply yard. Piles of cement bags, rebar stacked against the wall, wooden molds everywhere. That's when it clicked. If Karen liked smashing trash cans, maybe it was time I gave her a trash can that couldn't be smashed. Saturday afternoon through Sunday, construction. I spent the entire weekend working in my garage. I built a mold out of scrap wood, lined it, poured bag after bag of cement until the thing weighed more than both of my regular bins combined. I even slid some rebar down the middle for reinforcement. When it dried, I peeled away the mold and stared at my masterpiece, a concrete block disguised as a garbage can. But it had to pass the eye test. Karen was petty, but not blind. So I painted the outside to look weathered, scratched it up so it resembled the beaten-up bins she'd already crushed. From a distance, it looked weak. Up close, it looked ordinary. Only I knew it was waiting, heavy and unmovable. I rolled it to the curb with a grunt, the wheels groaning under its weight. It stood there like bait, silent and ready. I went to bed with a smile on my face. I woke up early, made my coffee, and positioned myself on the porch. Birds chirped, sprinklers hissed. And right on schedule, Karen's SUV growled to life. She backed out same as always, sunglasses perched on her nose, one hand clutching her latte like she was starring in her own commercial. Then she saw it. My trash can. Her favorite target. Her lips curled into that smug grin I'd memorized over weeks of humiliation. She revved the engine like she was getting ready for a drag race. Then, bam! The sound wasn't plastic crunching. It was metal folding, glass rattling, and her front bumper snapping like a breadstick. The SUV jolted to a dead stop. The can didn't move an inch. Karen's head whipped forward. Her sunglasses launched into the dashboard, and the airbag exploded in her face with a dramatic poof. For a moment, everything froze. Then, the screaming started. She flung her door open, stumbling out, hair wild, latte dripping down her blouse. "What is this?" she shrieked, pointing at the trash can like it had personally attacked her. "You did this on purpose. You destroyed my car. You think you're so smart, don't you?" She was in my face now, jabbing her finger at my chest, spit flying as she yelled. Neighbors poured out of their houses like spectators at a parade. Phones appeared. Cameras rolled. The humiliation was no longer private. It was public, broadcast ready. One guy across the street yelled, "Guess you met your match, Karen." Laughter rippled through the crowd. Even the usually silent retirees at the corner house were smirking from their porch. Karen kicked the can. Nothing. She shoved it. Still nothing. Her bumper was hanging half detached, but the trash can stood firm, unbothered, indestructible. I leaned back, sipped my coffee, and raised my eyebrows like I was just as shocked as everyone else. Huh, guess they weren't kidding when they said reinforced. Her face turned scarlet. "This is sabotage," she screamed, voice cracking. He planned this. This is illegal." She was frantic, pointing at me, covered in latte and airbag dust, her SUV bleeding fluids onto the street, but nobody rushed to her defense. Not this time. The trash can had finally won the round, and I knew from the way Karen's eyes narrowed, this wasn't over. Monday afternoon, 2:15 p.m., the emergency meeting. Karen wasted no time. By that afternoon, I had a notice taped to my door. Emergency board meeting. The great tribunal of lawn obsessives and mailbox police had convened. The agenda, my weaponized trash can. Karen stormed into the meeting with photos of her mangled SUV printed on glossy paper, waving them around like courtroom evidence. She painted herself as the tragic victim of my malicious booby trap, her voice cracking as she described the trauma. She wanted me fined, removed, maybe even arrested. The board looked serious for about 3 seconds until I slid my own packet across the table. Receipts, screenshots, product listings. "See," I said calmly, "I didn't build anything illegal. According to my purchase records, I simply ordered a heavy-duty reinforced garbage container from an online supplier, industrial strength, weather-resistant, advertised as unbreakable, 100% legal." I paused, looking around the room. "Are you suggesting that the HOA can fine me for buying a higher quality bin, one designed not to be destroyed by careless drivers?" I let that hang in the air. The room shifted. A couple of neighbors even stifled laughs. Everyone knew what Karen had been doing. They'd watched her run over my bins for weeks. Her little game was no secret. And now she was trying to punish me for finally owning something she couldn't crush. Karen sputtered, demanded action, but the board's tone had changed. Instead of punishing me, they quietly suggested she cover the damages to my property. That sent her into a meltdown so dramatic it deserved its own soap opera theme music. She stormed out, and I walked home with my head held high. The trash can stayed at the curb, undefeated. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think Karen got what she deserved? Comment below.